But see, my mom, she was getting her ass whooped when I was a kid. My stepdad, my sister's dad, because I wasn't his child, he used to whoop my ass all the time. And I used to tell my mom, please don't go to work. Please don't go to work. He's gonna whoop me.
Yeah.
He's gonna whoop me. Like when I tell you he got his drunken rages, I'll go run under the bed. That motherfucker flipped the bed over like, shoo.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where it was so bad one day that I went to school with bruises. And one of the little girls noticed my bruises. And she told the teacher. And my granny, she had to come and get me. And to this day, Lord rest her soul, she passed away. But when this man, he ended up dying a construction accident when my mom left here. But my granny said, baby, you ain't never got to go over there again. Yeah. She was the one that came and saved me. Excuse me.
I want to get right into it. I want you to tell me about your early life and how you grew up. You grew up in Nashville, right? That's where you're from?
Yes.
Born and raised?
Yes, born and raised. I'm from East Nashville. Don't know nothing else but East Nashville. Yeah. But growing up, I grew up in a single-parent home.
I had a guy from East Nashville on here, right?
Uh-huh.
His name was Six. He rapped.
Six? or Six?
Six.
Okay.
S-I-X.
Okay.
He rap out of Nashville. He got like a buzz and everything, too.
Okay, go ahead. Six from out east.
Yeah.
All right.
Yeah. But you say you single-parent home?
Yeah, single-parent home was just my mom and my little sister, who's 5 years younger than me. And so my mom was a young mom having a mom. It's kind of like I broke a generational curse because I think my great granny was like 16, 15 when she had us, maybe 18. My granny was 16 when she had my mom. And my mom was 15. She tell people 16. She really 15 going on 16. When she had me. So me and my mom, we grew up together. That's why I love music so much because I was listening to In Vogue and Jodeci and all the Paula Abdul, and that's where I get a lot of inspiration from my podcast and just music in general because that was really my escape.
Yeah. Escape from what?
Just from life.
Yeah.
As a kid, like I could just go, and my mom, she used to have like a hookup at CD Warehouse. And because she was the tax lady of Nashville for 20-something years. So she had hookups everywhere. And she had a hookup at CD Warehouse. We just grabbed CDs. Oh, my God. It was just like everything. And I just popped them in and I just go in another space. Yeah. I go and I sing and I just go in another space. And I think that's where my love for music came from. But anyways, yeah, we grew up in a single-parent home, so my mom was the bread and butter. Yeah. I think she was one of the first people in my family to graduate from college. Yeah. So she's one of those people that it was actually in biology, but she found her business in bookkeeping and taxes, and so she had a really successful business for over 20 years, serving the greater Nashville and surrounding counties. But like. We never saw her.
Yeah, she was always gone.
She was always gone. And so when I was excited to see her, she'd be like,
tired.
Give me 5 minutes. Yeah. Give me 5 minutes.
Yeah.
Like I could be tearing the club up downstairs.
Yeah.
And she'd be upstairs and not know anything.
So it was a level of freedom almost, like you had a chance to do whatever you wanted.
I did. And I think that's why I didn't wow out. You know how some people, they go to college and they wild out? Yeah. I've been having this freedom for so long.
Yep. Yeah.
Like there's so many things that I could have done. Yeah. There's so many things that I did do.
Yeah.
Shouldn't have done. Yeah. There's some things that God brought me from. But I've always had that sense of freedom. And I've always been a free spirit. So the thing is, though, I didn't learn until I got into adulthood and started going to college. And and seeing my counterparts and their healthy relationships and what a healthy relationship looks like and what healthy parenting looks like.
Yeah.
You know, I fell into the same habit as my mom because I'm a go-getter. You know, I got so many degrees and accolades, not to brag, but I do.
No, brag,
because
you
I
should.
Thank you.
Yeah.
I do have a lot going on, and I'm always succeeding, and I'm always the same as my mom.
Right.
But I'm learning that as a parent, I have to take that time out for my kids
For
now.
the babies. Yeah.
So when they be like, mama, no, how was your day? I want you to articulate.
And that's ironically, that's how you can break a cycle, a generational thing that you've already experienced anyway. Because I'm pretty sure your grandmother was she. You said she had your mother early on. Was it that a single home type
Oh,
of situation?
absolutely.
So, and I'm pretty sure she had to work a lot, and that led to your mom having more freedom, right?
Well, she was on drugs.
She was on drugs.
She was on drugs.
Gotcha. Your
She was on
grandmother.
drugs. It was back in the 70s, honey. You know they was doing it. You know what I'm saying? They was doing the thing.
Yeah.
So, you know, my mom had to deal with her own trauma.
It's a saying, right? The saying is, hard times make strong men. Strong men make soft men, I think. Or strong men make good times. Good times create soft men. So in a sense, that's what your grandmother, she created a hard situation for your mother. And your mother had to become hard, which indirectly created more of a softer situation for you. But it's good that...
No, it wasn't soft.
Hear me out. It's good that compared to her,
yeah.
Yeah, it's good that you didn't take that situation. It could have very well been, oh, my mom, financially, is everything pretty good? We got a home, I got freedom. You didn't take that and say, all right, I'm gonna just be a spoiled brat. You took that, internalized it, and created your own situation. And you work hard as well. I want to tap into like the school, going into not you know, the education past high school and everything, but what was high school, middle school? What was that like for you? Yeah.
Hey, that's so funny. I was bullied.
Yeah.
I didn't have any friends because, you know, my mom, she did work a good job as far as, you know, tax season, but really wasn't good with spending money. She was spending it as quick as she was getting it.
Yeah.
Like what people make in a year, she was making in months. But, you know, tax season starts in January or in April. By August, we're broke.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? She didn't really have good spending habits. And so by August, you won't have no money. So you got to think about school, shopping, Christmas. You know, our Christmas was in January. You know, and it was plenty of times where like I was sad that my mama was sad that she couldn't give us the Christmas that she wanted. And I remember one specific Christmas where she was just crying. And I'm just like, Mom, it's okay.
Yeah.
We're thankful. You know, we're kids. Why are you crying? You know, but it's just like now I am very much more financially literate. And because of the mistake that she made financially, you know, she did what she had to do.
Yeah.
I never take it away from her. She did what she had to do. But I'm more of thinking for the future now because I didn't have that future. And a lot of times I had to wait. When I was 16, I couldn't wait to get a job.
Yeah.
So I could buy my sister clothes. So I could buy my sister her school shoes, or my cousin, he would buy her school clothes or school shoes.
Was that a part of the bullying? You was mentioning that earlier, that because y'all didn't have money in certain situations, y'all didn't have clothes and all of that. So that's where the bullying came from.
And then I didn't have boobs. Now these hoes are hating because they backs is hurting, and I got these pretty little A cups that boop, I ain't even gotta wear no bra,
Right.
bitch. But it was because too I was the oldest. I didn't have anybody to have my back.
Yeah.
I had to have my sister's back, but I didn't have nobody to fight for me. And so like my mom, but what happened was I was in class one day in the 7th grade, and I'm sitting here minding my business. No, I don't really talk to people, okay? Right. One of the little girls, she gave me a bandana, And she was like, hey, here, drop this. Okay. And went on about my business. And so they were asking me afterwards, like, hey, which way you go home? And I had this white girl named Michelle. She was my best friend. She jumped up behind me. I didn't know what was going on because we never grew up, you know what I'm saying, in this gang life.
Right.
You know, this was East Middle School back in the 90s, late 90s. She said, don't worry about it.
Yeah.
Don't worry about where she at. And I'm just like, why? You know, I'm confused. She was like, they're going to gang you.
Yeah.
I said, they going to gang me?
Yeah.
What the fuck I do?
Yeah.
You look at me? So, like, I told my dance teacher, who was also my English teacher, who I was close with. I told her about it, and she addressed the situation. All of the girls that were involved, they got suspended, or it's like at the end of the year. They basically got sent home. But I was scared, thinking that I was going to get jumped every day. So I didn't even want to go home. You know what I'm saying? I didn't. My friend, I had to go to her house all summer. You know, it's crazy now because these same girls now they are inspired by me.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? We cool. We were kids then. But like I never had nobody to have my back.
Yeah.
I always had to have my back, and I always had to have my sister's back. So with my mama being gone, it always been a way. Like I would tell her about how, you know, little girl bullied me the next year. Another little girl bullied me because she sat on my boyfriend's desk, honey, asking for some bubblicious. And I was like, I just got like my first weave. I thought I was cute. Ain't never had a boyfriend before because you remember I was like, honey, they was not checking for me back then. Honey, I had addressed her in the hallway, and then little heifer. At first, I was like, don't be on my man's desk asking him for gum. You know we go together. If you got a problem with it, come to me. She looked at me, okay, fine. Went back, got another girl, came back and started yelling.
Yeah.
And the bitch was yelling ever since.
Yeah.
But it was always passive. And my mom always said, if somebody, if you fight somebody, fight them off of school grounds.
Right.
And let them hit you first. The thing about bullying is the little girl probably never had any intention on ever really hitting me. But she tortured me.
Yeah.
But I was always this good kid. Let them hit you first. Well, she bullied another one of my friends later on that year, and I addressed her because at first, I didn't want to stick up for me, but I stick up for the next person. That's always how I've been.
Right.
And so I did, and she got loud with me. Yeah. In the hallway, she got so loud, and I was just like, I was ready because you've been picking all you. Hit me then. Yeah. Hit me then. Hit me because that's all I need you. You're supposed to touch.
Yeah.
Tap me in.
Yeah.
Tap me in. That's all I need you. Just hit me. And I remember her making this big scene, and the teachers pulling her down the hallway. She's yelling, honey. So I'm in my biology class, and I remember just being in a daze. And I remember the teacher saying, Kianya, Kianya, open to page 31.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh. You know, but by the end of it, I know she heard it because she knew what was happening when we was coming in the class. I told her, I was like, I can't take it no more.
Yeah.
I'm gonna get her.
Yeah.
And so, first lunch, everybody seen it. Everybody like, man, that's crazy. That's crazy. She had second lunch.
Yeah.
Okay. And so I literally waited for second lunch for her to come in, because you know how Kevin Hart say, it's about to go down.
Right.
Today.
Uh-huh.
It's about to go down.
Uh-huh.
I ain't never been in a fighting school ever in my life. Straight A student. Honey, it was enough. You know when you get that foggy, you ain't even paying attention. Something's about to happen. So somebody made up a funny thing. What if you hit her with your tray? I was like, that's a great idea. So she had second lunch. She came on in, sat at the table right next to me. You see that bitch? I was talking about that bitch. I was hitting that bitch. I politely took things off my tray. Picked the tray up,
Yeah.
went over to her. Hey, her name's Melissa. Melissa, she turned around, gave her a few seconds, didn't move. Hey, pop, pop. And these are the green trays.
Yeah.
Remember the hard green tray?
The hard ones, yeah.
Pop. Man, I just remember that motherfucker splattering. I remember me taking by her hair, taking her down, and bow, 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 bow.
Yeah.
Bow, 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 bow. And after the fight, I was so calm.
Yeah.
While she's over there, ma, 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 ma.
And that was just a build up of all the shit you had.
It was a build up, but I felt so calm afterwards that I could just stand there now.
Yeah.
I ain't got to argue with you. I ain't got to yell back and forth. And so they sent her to the hospital and sent me straight to juvenile.
Yeah.
So I got my first charge. That's my only charge. And I have to answer for that for the boards now. I'll graduate as a nurse practitioner next spring.
Dope.
Thank you. And so I had to answer for that as an LPN. I was scared and think that they would give me my license. I'm like, I done been through all this school.
Yeah.
But they gave it to me. And so I thanked them. So when I went to get my RN, my registered nurse license, I knew that I had to answer for it because with healthcare, they dig deep.
Yeah. Yeah.
You know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
All these other jobs, and you have a charge from 1999. I said that was from the 1999 to the 2000. That when we were backing it up.
Yeah.
I that backed up in my history somewhere.
So how long did you stay in juvenile? They just
Overnight.
Overnight, yeah.
I
yeah.
did.
Yeah, and
I
they
learned
just
how
gave
to
you
put a
soft
condom on a banana. Made some friends. They had some really good chili spaghetti. My mom, when I came out, she was like, "Yeah, you were best." All the way up until I had got staffed for a whole year. So I missed most of my 8th grade year. I was homeschooled.
And this happened when you was in the 7th grade, the fight?
The 8th grade.
8th grade.
I was bullied. It started in the 7th grade.
Got you.
And then the 8th grade, eventually the little gang girls, they died down eventually. They didn't come around. I guess they figured out, you know what I'm saying? Well, God protected me. But then this situation came. And now, I think I'm hard now. Look. I got my little swoop, got my little piece of weave, honey. Got my little French rope.
Yeah.
Okay.
And then you got staff, so you miss
all of from October of 1999 all the way to, thank God I made it. I ended up going to NSA.
Yeah.
So that's how I ended up in NSA because I was in dance before.
NSA is
Nashville School of the Arts. So I am an NSA alumni. And I took dance there, but my dance teachers and all my teachers supported me. And they knew that the girl was picking.
Yeah.
They knew, but see, like my mom didn't fight for me. So I got kicked out, but I ended up going to NSA, which would have been better than me going to Stratford or Maplewood, where I was on for, because I would have had about 10 kids. But it's so funny that you say that because my daughter, she goes to Madison Middle, and I just had to roll up on the principal yesterday.
Yeah.
Yesterday.
Before we get into that, tell me about the staff. How that happened?
The staff?
Yeah, like when you say you ended up getting staff.
Okay, so after I got out of juvie, after I did my little bid in the juvie or whatever, I did my little day at night.
At night.
Okay, honey, when they called my name, I was like, they finna come get me. They said, girl, if you don't get them covers and snatch them off the bed, I was like, okay. At first, my mom was excited until she found out that I got staff. Then she was pissed. They made an example out of me because it was zero tolerance.
Yeah.
Using something to weapon, fight with, a weapon with,
like aggravated assault.
Yeah, but they dropped it down to a misdemeanor.
Yeah.
Bitch was picking.
So basically, you out of school at that point. Then you going to NSA. How was that experience?
Well, in between, honey, we used to have fun in the 8th grade, baby, honey. So my house became the skip house.
Yeah, because you just at the house.
Because I'm at the house now. All my friends, So there's some been babies that have been made that are in high school now. Or they just had prom. I'm like, was it the baby that was made at my house that time? We was behind. You see how I was covered, though? Never got pregnant.
Yep.
Now, still
had all the tools to
tools to succeed, and still ended up going back to high school. I was scared. A whole year of no education.
Yeah.
My mama's boyfriend at the time was a teacher at an alternative school. I think he gave me like 2 lessons.
Yeah.
And then my house was the skipping house.
Yeah. So what did you do? Just hung out between then?
Yeah.
Yeah, because you had the freedom. Mama gone.
I always gone anyways, even if I wouldn't, you know. So yeah, I had the freedom. So
What's some crazy stuff that happened during them times?
I told you there's some kids right now that's high schoolers.
Yeah.
Right now that are the product of my house.
From being in your home.
From being in my home.
Yeah. So you end up going to NSA, National School of the Arts.
Yes.
How was that experience?
I hated it.
You hated it?
I hated it.
Wow.
Because I wanted to be I wanted to be in Stratford.
Yeah.
I wanted to be
hot girl
summer. And so instead I was with arts kids. You know, I was very uninterested.
Yeah.
None of the girls, they went to Wharton.
Wharton
Arts Middle School.
Okay.
So a whole bunch of those cliquish girls, they went there.
Yeah.
And I was the only girl from East Middle School.
Yeah.
From the other side of town.
And for people listening that's not from Nashville, East Nashville is considered like the, I guess, I don't want to, the hood part of Nashville. Yeah, it's like the hood part of Nashville.
That's the hood.
So you got these preppy type of girls coming from there, right?
Couldn't stand them.
Yeah.
Couldn't stand them. Now, I do get along with a lot of them now. But couldn't stand them. I felt like I was alone.
Yeah.
And so that's about the time I found my high school sweetheart.
Okay.
And so
he was going to NSA as well?
No, he was going to Hunter's Line. I met him through a mutual friend, but I met him in my 9th grade year. And so what I would do is, like, I just did not like school. I didn't like the whole thing. I just wasn't feeling it. I didn't feel welcome. I didn't feel like I fit in at all. I knew that I didn't. I barely liked the teachers, you know. So what I would do is I would take the city bus and I would go to downtown. My mom would see me go from the city bus around the corner from the house. I go downtown. And then I get on 14 in Whites Creek and go to my boyfriend's house and go get in bed and go back to sleep. And so it's so funny if my mama ever hears that, she does not know that I skipped so many days that I almost missed going to the 10th grade. Yeah. And I had to stay after school and clean up for like 3 days. Yeah.
So that was pretty much your high school in a nutshell. You got out of high school, right? And college. No?
College, yeah. I started with Barber College first. There was International Barber College that was right around the corner from Shoney's where I used to work at. Because I said I wanted to do hair. But once I got in there, I liked cutting hair better. And I liked working with men. And especially, I got a nice steady hand, so I get that line, honey, put a little spritz on there. I like the conversations. I love the men that I met. They're like my brothers. And it felt like I was just the only woman in this bubble. You know? You know what a woman, honey, if you get the curl wrong or the swerve wrong or the swerve wrong, issue. Man, he be like, all right, you know what I'm saying? But I always had my teacher, Mr. Tim. It's this little cute little bitty white man. He used to he had like a it used to be combed back real spritz, but then he had like a little curl on the side and some real starch jeans. Something out the 1970s. But when I tell you, this was his, now Chin owns it, but this was his, he just passed away not too long ago, not Chin, Mr. Tim. But he could cut white hair. He could cut black hair. He could, if I mess up on a haircut, I was like, hey, Mr. Tim, come over here and check my haircut out, make sure I'm straight. That was the code word for come and fix this. But not only would he fix it, you know, he's showing me. So I got better and better, but Mr. Tim used to put his gator on everybody. And anybody that went to International Barber College that's listening to this right now, I'm sure we got a few, they know about Tim and the gator.
Gator is...
He got his little pee-pee.
His penis.
Yes, he penis. So he put a dick on everybody. When
white cutting or...
White's cutting or waxing or washing, it don't matter. He put a little penis on. Put it in. But they call it the gator, you know.
Okay. Shout out to Tim.
Mr. Tim, rest in peace, Mr. Tim. Love you. So after
he's a freak.
He's a freak. He was undercover freak.
Yeah, I got you.
He had all them little ladies used to take to the back. And they used to wax them brows. Y'all been gone a long time.
So what made you end up going to nursing school? Or better yet,
Hold on, yeah, we done missed it.
let's go. You
After Barber College.
after Barber College. Oh, but even before that, you had your situation with your high school sweetheart. Does this mean that y'all end up staying together during this time?
No,
Oh,
he
okay. So
didn't.
y'all didn't. Okay,
No,
cool,
he
cool,
ended up
cool,
getting somebody pregnant, and
Gotcha.
it wasn't even his kid.
Gotcha.
But you know what? I told him, we met, and he was like a couple years ahead of me in high school. So I told him, if I catch up with you,
Yeah.
I'm leaving you.
Yeah.
Because he wanted to live this dope boy life. And his parents had money. His parents always took
always
care
them.
of him. He was the one that wanted to be
Yeah.
a thug. You
Yeah.
don't have to do that. And so, yeah, he ended up messing with some little girl in the project, some little young girl, honey, got her pregnant.
Yeah.
Baby, honey, he black as hell. Both of them black. That baby came out light skinned.
Yeah.
Baby, we know that ain't your baby.
Yeah.
So I left him, and that's when I decided to go to TSU.
You went to TSU. Okay. That's a good place to go.
Yeah, so I didn't get all my hours done. I was kind of young, and because my thought was I was going to get my barber's license, work as a master barber while I'm going to TSU.
That's a good plan.
But it sounded good. But I didn't, and I ended up going to TSU because I thought I wanted to go into political science because I wanted to always fight for police brutality cases. And,
What year was this?
This was 2000. Graduated in 2004. Started Barber College in 2004 to 2005. So 2006.
So you were ahead of the curve. Like you were trying to do this before it was like a popular thing because it became trendy around like 2011.
Yeah.
Okay.
So I've been a master barber. I've been chopping up, but look. But I went to TSU
Political science.
and political science. Tried out for a sorority that wasn't even sorority. It's called Diamond Dolls.
Okay.
There's some little pimp from Memphis. Had us selling calendars and tapes in Memphis. But we got to bring celebrities down, and I guess that was our he was pimping the hell out of us. That distracted me, but then I fell in love.
Okay. It's always love. Love will
With
do that
my
shit.
first husband. He wasn't the husband then. But fell in love with him the first semester. Second semester, I moved out. This spring semester, I moved out in my dorm in with him. By the summer, we eloped.
Okay.
I did not tell my parents until around August. I tried to go back to school again, Nashville State. I'm going to go back to school. Flunked out of that because we got into our first domestic violence. I got into my first domestic violence fight.
Yeah.
I ain't never had nobody put their hands on me before.
Yeah.
And it was a Memorial Day. He wanted me to be at the house, but I was hanging out with my friends. He was trying to be a tough guy. I was like, bitch, bring your ass to the house. I was like, bitch. Bitch, who's the bitch?
Yeah.
So I had my friends with me. They heard. They was like, well, we gonna go with you because we want to make sure you okay.
Yeah.
And so, honey, I'm hyped. I'm like, okay, bitch. You know what I'm saying? I'm just trying to hang out with my friends. I've gotten to argue with my high school sweetheart. I've gotten mad at him. I may have pushed him. He never ever put his hands on me.
Yeah.
But this day, I remember it was Memorial Day, July. It was right before my birthday, which is in September. Yeah, and so we get to the house.
Yeah.
And so they come in and we going in with you because he tripping.
Shout out to the friends.
Yeah, shout out to my friends, Pinky and Monty. I don't talk to neither one of them now. I love one of them. The other one crazy. She bat shit. But at the time, they were my friends.
Yeah.
I thought. Anyways. Knock on the door. He was like trying to push them out and trying to push me in. He was just like, well, I didn't got to come in. We can talk. And I was just like, y'all, let us talk. I'll be in there. I'll be right here.
Yeah.
I'll be right back.
Yeah.
The moment I get in the door, he like, bitch, where the fuck you at? what the fuck you was at? I'm like, excuse me. So I bump back on him. He takes me by my neck.
Yeah.
And I just remember falling behind the TV. I remember the TV falling over. I remember going into kick, scratch, claw, fight mode.
Yeah.
Never experienced this before. And by that time, I can hear my friends banging on, bang, 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 bang. So I'm just like, oh my gosh. I was in a headlock. Some kind of way I got to the door to open the door.
Yeah.
When I tell you these hoes came in and bow, bow, bow. Honey, one of my friends pulled out the damn vacuum cleaner. Was ready to send me Sosa that motherfucker.
Yeah.
She said, here you go.
Yeah.
By that time, the neighbors called the police. And I pressed charges.
Oh, you press charges?
And I didn't know anything. I've never been in this situation. I'm actually glad that I did. Because if I was older and been through more stuff, because I've been through more stuff, I probably wouldn't have. But he needed to learn his lesson early.
Yeah.
I don't give a fuck what nobody says to you or does to you. You have no right to put your hands on a woman. For one, you know as a man, you're way stronger than me.
Yeah.
You know the damage you could do to me. I think my ex would laugh at me.
Yeah. It ain't like you hit him first.
No, I just bucked up to him. Who the fuck you?
Yeah.
And then the neck. And since then, I've been fighting ever since.
Yeah.
I've been fighting all my life. I had to fight. But I did take him down to juvenile, and then I felt. And then what's fucked up is
juvenile?
Not juvenile. I'm sorry.
To jail.
Yeah. What's fucked up is my friend. She was being vindictive. She was mad at him too. So like she keyed his car. And I saw her, but I didn't see her.
Yeah.
But I really didn't give a fuck. But I didn't see her. I didn't tell her to stop. I don't know where. Everything was a blur.
Right.
You know what I'm saying? But I remember I was actually in CNA school. I was a certified nursing assistant at the time, at the beginning of my nursing journey.
Right.
And I remember getting a call saying, this person is out of jail, basically, in so many words. It's like they let you know. And so I came home.
Yeah.
My mama ain't never really bought me too much of anything. She bought me a brand new laptop. That motherfucker smashed that thing to the white meat.
Smashed it.
He smashed it. He tore up the house.
Yeah.
Who said? But you know what? That's when I had to tell my mom I got married.
So she
didn't know. That's how she found out.
Yeah.
And it's so funny now. I'm reflecting, and I've been reflecting, and I'm giving myself permission now as a mental health nurse practitioner, and was soon to be, and a psychiatric nurse, and getting out of these toxic relationships 20-some years later.
Yeah.
My mom did not give me the best advice.
Yeah. What did she say?
She said, well, y'all ain't boyfriend and girlfriend no more. Y'all married.
Yeah.
So you got to work it out.
That's that old people way of thinking.
Yeah, and
That's old school.
If I was me with my daughter and that would have happened now,
yeah.
Baby, if he started, he's not going to stop.
Did you stay with him?
I did because she told me to.
Right. And he continued to do it.
He was so sorry.
Yeah.
He was so sorry. But then later on, we got into another altercation.
Yeah.
This time, honey, he came out with a black eye.
Yeah.
Because it's the way you would do. And, it's a part of that narcissistic arguing. He's the type of person that will follow you around the house. Same thing that my recent ex-husband used to do. Follow you around the house so close that they're basically pushing you, provoking you to push them away.
Yeah.
The moment you push them, that gives them a green light to assault you. That was the advice that she gave me, though. You know what I'm saying? And that stuck with me in my healing now.
Yeah.
I'm upset at her because of that, because I wish that But see, my mom, she was getting her ass whooped when I was a kid. My stepdad, my sister's dad, because I wasn't his child, he used to whoop my ass all the time. And I used to tell my mom, please don't go to work. Please don't go to work. He's gonna whoop me.
Yeah.
He's gonna whoop me. Like when I tell you he got his drunken rages, I'll go run under the bed. That motherfucker flipped the bed over like, shoo.
Yeah.
And it got to the point where it was so bad one day that I went to school with bruises. And one of the little girls noticed my bruises. And she told the teacher. And my granny, she had to come and get me. And to this day, Lord rest her soul, she passed away. But when this man, he ended up dying at a construction accident when my mom left here. But my granny said, baby, you ain't never got to go over there again. Yeah. She was the one that came and saved me.
Good. Let me get you some tissue. I'm going to give you some tissue.
So my granny, she was the one that saved me. And she said, I hope that motherfucker rots in hell. Yeah. And we sat at his funeral, and she had that same mentality.
Yeah.
Fuck you.
Yeah.
I hope you rot in hell. But like my mom, she didn't protect me then. She didn't protect herself, because she kept on letting this man. I done seen him throw her through a glass table. Can you imagine how frightening that is?
Can't. That's rough, especially for a child.
And so I had to unwrap all of this for this podcast, the Sexy Nurse Chronicles, a mental health podcast. I thought I was just going to be talking about dating after a narcissistic relationship, but I had to tap all the way back into where we are now. It's great. I love it.
Yeah.
Because therapeutic. It's therapeutic. I can talk about it. I can process it. I understand it now. I understand that nothing was my fault.
Yep.
I understand that the life that I had was given to me. It wasn't my fault, but honey, I took lemons and made motherfucking margaritas.
Yeah.
But you could see how her relationships turned the relationships that I saw, what I thought were good relationships, or that's just normal.
That's normal, yeah.
She told me it was normal when she let this motherfucker, when she told me, he ain't your husband, he ain't your boyfriend, he's your husband. Honey, she been toxic the whole motherfucking time.
Yeah.
And that leaked into my adulthood, and it determined the relationships that I got into. I put up with more shit.
Yeah. And here you are now. I know we talked about it. You said that you in a stage right now, or in a phase where you're removing family and all of those people from you at this point in your life. That's a part of the reason why?
Yes, sir. My episode that I just came out with, episode number 17. Y'all check it out. Link in the description box below. Wow, that good stuff. Is a Mother's Day episode, but it's about family estrangement. I always hear like on the news when somebody is killed, or like her estranged wife or estranged husband. I actually looked up estrangement. And estrangement basically means a separation from a loved one, whether it's from them or from you. But a lot of times in narcissistic, toxic relationships, estrangement can go either way. Right. It could go the narcissist, toxic person, they see you putting up boundaries, so they basically cut off all ties with you. That's love, that's emotion, that's affection, that's physical, mental. They completely just ghost you, basically. And they neglect, and they use that as a form of punishment. And so the other way it goes is when you're healing from a narcissistic or toxic relationship, you are putting up boundaries. That's what I did. I learned about boundaries in college. I learned in nursing school. I learned about boundaries and what healthy relationships. I became awakened, enlightened. Didn't even know a bitch been abused for the whole 33, 34 years. I'm 37. I've been on this healing journey for a few years. 34 years I've been abused.
Yeah.
from everybody. From everybody. But it took me to know that, to understand that, to put a name to it. You know, mental health just really came out. You know, like the new Jays.
For us.
Like, but no, for everybody.
Yeah.
Mental health just really came out because it's a stigma. They feel like if you say you got this or that, or if it's on paper, you're crazy, or with narcissistic relationships, they don't want you. The parent doesn't want you, or the caregiver, or the toxic person. They don't want you to tell our business. Our business stays in this house, and you're taught that from a very young age, and that's really to protect them from all the bullshit that they put you through and everybody else seeing it. So when I put up boundaries with my second narcissistic relationship, when I had my 2 kids, the whole 10 years, 12 years, after him graduating from RN school, the last podcast that we had, I was in the middle of cutting him off. I hadn't completely cut her off yet. Yeah. I was in the middle of cutting them hoes out. Cut the bitches off. Yeah. I had to put up boundaries. And once I noticed what boundaries are rules or things that you put in place that make you feel safe. These are your rules. This is how you deal with me. If you can't deal with me in this way that makes me feel comfortable, then I'm letting you know that. And I'm going to have to distance myself. And narcissists, toxic people, of course, I attracted what I grew up with.
Right.
So I really been having them pray over. They've been praying over me like a hawk the whole time. Never knew it. Thank God he protected me and protected my vision and protected my life and where I'm at now, because I'm sure there's somebody out here that's probably going through the same thing. But when I put those boundaries up, they don't like that. Oh, you think you good now. You too good. You think you a nurse now. Baby, I've been a nurse for 5 motherfucking years. That don't have nothing to do with me not want to come over your house for Thanksgiving.
Just protecting yourself.
I'm just protecting myself. I'm putting these boundaries up. But the thing about boundaries is it's so hard is you got to stand on them. And when you're dealing with people that have manipulated you all of your life, that you love, the one that gave you the titty, you know what I'm saying? Or the one that put the, you know what I'm saying? That you had the kids, you know what I'm saying? It's just like
so much attachment.
You're so much attachment, so much history, so much love. But the whole time, these motherfuckers been feeding off of my energy. Because I've been known to be an empath. I'm the scapegoat. I'm the black sheep. I've been the kid that's been more spiritual than others, that talked to God more than others, that believed in a higher source a long time ago more than others. I'm the one that people come to mend shit. What KeKe can't? No, I ain't doing none of this shit no more. I'm mending my own shit. And so, they didn't like those boundaries when I put them up and I noticed how they were acting. I had to separate myself. And of course, you got those people. Well, that's your mom. Well, first of all, that's called invalidation. When your feelings matter, your feelings, they matter. If there's something that you say to me or I say to you that offends you, regardless if I meant to say it or not, or meant it that way or not, your feelings are still valid. And me, I have to respect that and say, I apologize, or, move around, or, what I'm saying, make it, work it out. When you when you invalidate somebody's feelings, that means you just saying, well, fuck your feelings. No. Everybody has feelings, and your feelings are valid. My feelings ain't been valid the whole time. Bitch, they are now.
And you shouldn't have to excuse people just because of blood. Blood only makes you, that's a lineage, family.
That's it. And it's a broken lineage. I'm cutting that lineage off. We're breaking these chains.
You choose your family.
You choose. I have a soul family. And when I tell you my soul family, so let's just say my sister I told you about,
Go ahead.
My sister, who I told you about, like, my mama always picks sides. It's called triangulation. So just think about a triangle. That's my mom. That's me. That's my sister. Triangulation. You're going to strangle one corner to make a relationship with this one. And then when that one ain't working, you strangle this one and you'll open up this corner. Yeah, triangulation.
Yeah.
And for a long time, I've been the one that's been easiest to get along with, the one that's been the most emotional, the one that's been more empathic, the one that's just been just more spiritual.
Just there for people.
But since I was like a baby, I was like, I was like 9 years old. I was preaching to the old folks, had them in their spirit, honey, had them running around in the house. They were drunk as hell. But I've always had that gift. The moment that I push back, now all of a sudden my sister and my mom, they're cool, but they wasn't at first. Like, my mom never knew how to have a relationship, an equal relationship with both of us. Yeah. And with a narcissist or a toxic family member, they're always looking for a gain. It's always one up for them.
Yeah.
So if my sister needed a one up, she used me. If mine needed one up, she used, you know what I'm saying? It's just like, it's always something that they can get out of somebody. And they got all the fuck they was going to get out of me. Yeah. And so I cut them both off. And since then, and getting rid of him,
Second husband,
having the courage to tell my sister no, tell my mama no, I've created my own soul tribe of mamas and aunties and cousins. And I know that feeling that makes me feel good. And I know when I'm in an energy or somewhere that I'm not welcome, my heart race, my stomach don't feel good. I just don't feel the energy.
Right.
And because I'm working at a high vibration and I've been dealing with them, not dealing with them so long, if I could tell when that motherfucker go down.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? And I work up here because I got shit to do.
Right.
And my life has been so much more successful.
That's amazing.
Yeah. I didn't think that I could. My ex-husband, he made it seem like he was paying my way through school. No, nigga. I got that scholarship. Yeah. I studied for them exams. I passed those classes. You had to pay bills because you lived there too. You ain't doing me no favors.
Yeah.
You ain't doing me no favor. See, he thought he was going to eat at my table and still keep that foolishness up. But the same argument year after year after year after year. Everybody's tired is different.
Yeah.
My tired got tired eventually, and I was done the day that I found out I was at RN was the same day we had this argument that's on episode number 6. I literally, he said it, record everything I'm saying. Record everything I'm saying. I don't care.
Yeah.
And so I did. And I had to process that. And because I was so livid, I would scream, and he just screamed over me. And it was one thing that we argued, one issue I brought up that turned into my mama and my granny, and why I'm living like this, and why I'm living like that. And the whole time, I'm still living the way that I'm living, and I'm doing better without him. I heard he's struggling.
Yeah.
I heard he's struggling. Yeah. I wish nothing bad on anybody. But when you fuck with God's own, he gonna fuck you up.
Yeah. But look, I don't know if anybody told you this. I'm pretty sure they have. I'm proud of you. Yeah. I mean, considering everything that you done been through up until this point, you still persevere. You still, take the time out to go through everything that you're going through, do your process, and you still, keeping this up here, your mental.
Him.
Well, yeah.
Him.
God.
Him.
For sure.
Him.
Every time.
Him.
Yeah.
Him. Boy, don't let me get honey. I'm gonna go cry, baby, honey. I get the crying, honey.
Listen, you and me both.
Honey.
He's been my refuge.
Yeah, he have. And can I say, I don't mean to turn this podcast about you into me or me being the host and now you the co-host. But
we'll have to get to that on your show next week. We're gonna do your show.
We're gonna save this for y'all.
Yeah, that'll be on your show.
Gonna save this for y'all.
Because I'm gonna go do your show. Your show is called
The Sexy Nurse Chronicles.
Sexy Nurse Chronicles.
Podcast.
That's gonna be my first podcast outside of this one that I'm gonna be on, by the way.
Oh,
Yeah.
Get to pop your cherry.
I'm gonna be on that. So if y'all watching up until this
Yes.
point, make sure y'all go check that out. Go ahead and
Yes.
subscribe. Y'all see me on that
Yes.
episode. I'll be
Yes.
posting it on my social media. Thank you for coming on.
Yes, thank you for letting me share my story.
Oh no, it was an amazing
I
story.
appreciate it.
Yep,
Like that's what my podcast is about. It's about giving people permission who are estranged, going through trauma recovery, that's having a hard time trying to get over that fear, shame, and doubt that the narcissist put on you.
Yeah.
And I'm giving you permissions. First of all, we're putting a name on it. We're declaring, we're sending it back to the pits of hell where it came from. And we putting boundaries up. And we standing on them motherfuckers.
Amen.
And that's on period.
Yeah.
Thank y'all for having me.
But listen, if you're watching up until this point, make sure you like, comment, subscribe. Go get the merch. Go get the merch. It's www.ChoppedByTpodcast.com. Thank you for watching up until this point. Listen, this is the ChoppedByT podcast where we get real, raw, authentic conversations. Until next time.